Good evening out there. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency analytics that are currently available, like open interest futures and liquidation prices, the Bitcoin price chart, and what it's currently doing and up to, and what we could see coming up this following week. Also, the altcoin season index, whether or not we are in a Bitcoin season or an altcoin season. And then we're going to jump over and take a look at the TVL that is shown here on DeFi Llama and what we can extract from this informatically. Also, I want to talk about the upcoming Hong Kong ETF that is set to debut here soon in a few days. Also, I want to go over some of the latest technology that is being launched and invested into in the crypto sector. And then finally, I'm going to wrap up with this sentencing that was issued to CZ Binance, which is a win overall for crypto and CZ due to the lesser sentencing than what was expected. And if you think any of this is interesting, then you should definitely keep watching this video.
3, 2, 1.
Hello and good evening out there. I hope you're all doing fantastic. My name is Josh. This is the CryptoBits channel where we discuss all things Bitcoin and crypto related news. Now let's get started now jumping into the CoinGlass chart here, which has a lot of information regarding cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin overall. The 24-hour volume here, we are up 35.5%. It's a lot of trading going on. The 24-hour liquidations are up 54%. We are currently balanced between longs and shorts. And now going down here, we can see in the top 100 of the cryptocurrencies overall, Bitcoin still remains at number 1, Ethereum number 2, BNB 3, Solana 4, XRP 5, and so on and so forth. There has not been much change here in the top 20 so far, but we are seeing an uptick in volume in these currencies over the past 24 hours, which is a good thing, but it leads to needing to be cautious because we could be expecting some volatility looking forward. And as you can see, the Bitcoin dominance is slightly going up. Gold futures looking a little bit down today. The Fear and Greed Index is still a bit up there at 67. The open interest has been relatively stable. The futures volume, though, we are seeing an uptick of 42%. 24-hour liquidations are incredible at 161.72 million. And the total options open interest is at 27.26 billion, up 3.5%. And the CME Bitcoin futures open interest is up 1.72% and currently at 8.88 billion. Now we can see that on the derivatives volume, if you are dabbling in that space or interested in that kind of stuff, volume has been currently going up. We are seeing the top traded coins for the derivatives exchanges, which I can't do where I reside, and you have to be an institution if you want to do that kind of stuff. But we see that Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana are the top ones, along with Doge. And you're starting to see these other meme tokens that are coming into making some headway in the space, like this WIF and Pepe and Bonk, which may explain why there are such volatility in those tokens. But you are needing to be careful when you're playing around in those tokens because they're very volatile. Now diving into the Bitcoin price chart, I want to take a look at this pattern that we are currently still in. I mean, it has only been a few days since I did the last video, but it looks like we are still just consolidating here. We are a little bit looking indecisive at the moment, but that is okay because people can still DCA at these levels. But it is possible that we may break down from here and come down to the 50,000 level, which would line up here. Or if we do not do that, we could get rejected here, the bottom of this, and come upwards and continue on in this channel for a while and just continue sideways. but there is a chance we just decide to go up from here. But we do know that a very important level that we want to be looking out for is the all-time high that we have set here in March. So once we do go above that, we can expect that Bitcoin's price will be continuing on from there and probably reaching into the 80,000 range before seeing a pullback. So trade that at your own risk. I would just consider that you stick to your DCA strategy, whatever you have at the moment, because that is always the safest thing to do and always will lead to higher rewards for you long term. Next up, we are going to take a look at the altcoin season index here, and currently it is at a 35 on a scale from 0 to 100. And the link for this, if you guys are interested in looking at this, is blockchaincenter.net, and then you go to the altcoin-season-index, and that'll take you to this page here. But as you can see, it's kind of like a RSI indicator where it tells you, like, okay, if we are above 75, we are in full-fledged altcoin season, and when we are below 25 or breach this line, we are in full-on Bitcoin season. And as you know, when we are in one season or the other, we see one either declining or staying stagnant while the other is moving, or vice versa. So if Bitcoin prices are going up, altcoins are usually going down in value while Bitcoin is going up, or the opposite, altcoins are rising and Bitcoin is going down or staying stagnant during these periods. So there's just not a whole lot here that you can gain from it, but we do see the top 50 performance over the last 90 days. I guess in terms of appreciation for your investment, if you invest into it, at number 1 we have WIF, followed by Pepe, Core, AR, Fetch, or SHIB, and NEAR, and so on and so forth. But you can kind of take a look here. Bitcoin is at 51% over the last 90 days, which is tremendous, because when you look at the price of it, if you're holding one Bitcoin versus holding one whole coin of these other things, it's not even, you cannot even compare, because the value that you're accruing is way larger in terms of fiat value. Another thing that I want to take a look at here that kind of is just adding on to that whole altcoin season index, we are seeing that the total value locked overall in the crypto space is at 159 million. Now, when we were at the peak here in 2021, we saw that our total TVL was at 179 billion. Well, actually, take that back. Our TVL is only at 93 billion. That was a mistake, but you can see here we are still not at that all-time high when we had a lot more retailers in the space. So this tells me, in my opinion, that retail is still not here, and most of the people that are in the crypto space are the same crypto participants from the last cycle. And some of them are starting to come off the sidelines and deploy capital in the markets. But we do know that overall, in the macro scheme of things, there are roughly about $6 trillion that is sitting on the sideline and are looking for a place to deploy into, but we need to see some more stability and bullishness in the markets and reasons to deploy that capital. But overall, I think this is bullish because we have came up from a low of 37 billion and now we are at 94 billion. So I do want to see the TVL reaching about 180 billion. Then I would feel like we are fully back and we are in a full-on bull market, but it could be maybe 5 to 6 months before we see that, or it could be sooner. I'm hoping we see that in 3 months, but you know, I cannot predict the future, and I certainly can't deploy that much capital myself, so just have to sit around and wait and keep DCAing. Now, taking a look at the markets here, we have an article here posted by Christian Sandor. Title of it is Bitcoin Waivers Around 63K, Awaiting Hong Kong Spot Crypto ETF Debut. Despite muted anticipation for the new products, an executive of one of the issuers reportedly expected that the first day issuance of the Hong Kong offerings will exceed the U.S. debut in January. And he has a chart here of the Bitcoin price chart when he posted it. Here are some bullet points here. Cryptocurrencies gave up their weekend gains, with the broad market CoinDesk Market Index declining 3% over the past 24 hours. The first batch of Hong Kong listed spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs will start trading on Tuesday morning. China AMC's head of digital asset management said the offerings will be beneficial for crypto prices, improving liquidity and expand participation. Bullish. Crypto markets were lower across the board, with Bitcoin wavering near 63,000 as the upcoming Hong Kong crypto spot exchange traded fund debut has failed to spark excitement among investors. Bitcoin drifted lower during the day from 64,000 over the weekend, slipping briefly to 61,800 before recovering to just near 63,000 at U.S. afternoon hours. The largest crypto by market cap value was recently changing hands at 63,000, down about 1% in the past 24 hours, holding up better than the broad market CoinDesk Market Index, which lost 3% over the same period. Most altcoin majors also gave up their weekend gains, with Ether, Solana, Dogecoin declining 4 to 6%. Crypto markets have been drifting sideways for the last few weeks in lack of a strong investment narrative to drive prices. Cooling from last month's record-breaking Bitcoin price action and altcoin and meme coin frenzy, CoinDesk Bitcoin and Ether trend indicators both remain in neutral reading, indicating a market without a clear direction. Even though a spot-based Bitcoin and Ether ETFs in Hong Kong will start trading on Tuesday morning local time, the incoming debut didn't spark a similar level of anticipation ahead of the event as to the fever pitch that preceded the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs. Notably, Bitcoin nearly doubled in price during 3 months leading up to the January 11th debut, and significant inflows helped propel Bitcoin over 73,000 in March. Defying the muted anticipation, an executive of China AMC, one of the 3 issuers of the new Hong Kong-listed spot ETFs, reportedly said during a press briefing that the first-day issuance of shares may surpass the U.S. debut's 125 million, referring to the new product's seed funding. I am very confident that the initial listing scale of Hong Kong's virtual asset spot ETF can exceed the issuance scale on the first day of the United States, said Zhu Haokang, head of digital asset management and family wealth. Wayne Huang, head of ETF and custody at crypto exchanges OSL, said that the exchange had completed the first day of raising funds for 2 of the new offerings and confirmed Haokang's forecast. Judging from the numbers, the transactions are indeed far greater than the capital inflow of the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs on its first day of trading, Huang said. Haokang also said that the ETFs will be beneficial for crypto prices as the offerings feed more liquidity to digital asset markets, broaden funding channels, and participation. Wow. So that is a very, very interesting article. That is very bullish news for crypto overall. So if you are invested right now, then you should be getting excited, because with China or Hong Kong coming into the marketplace, and they're coming out and saying that they are going to even inject more liquidity into the markets than what we saw when BlackRock and these other American ETFs launched. But we do know that because prices are higher, how much higher can prices go? Because it requires a little bit more money to move the price in order to get higher prices. But I believe that not all of this money is going to only flow into Bitcoin and Ethereum, but we can see some of that go into the altcoins. So I believe altcoins will begin picking up as well with this news, which is great if you're holding any of that stuff. But overall, this is great news for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency overall. We're going to be seeing some more adoption. More bigger institutions and players can come in now and buy this asset that is going to revolutionizing the world at such a drastic pace. But that is all for that article. I'm going to move on now from here. We're going to go and talk about some of the technology that is launching in this space and all the investments that are happening, which are also another bullish thing for cryptocurrency overall. Technology overall is going to be fantastic looking forward in the future, and blockchain is going to spread like wildfire as it already is. But now, coming to this article, we're just going to go cover some of the latest developments that are taking place in the crypto sector, and we're going to start here. Protocol Village, Omnity on-chain interoperability protocol on ICP integrates Runes, the latest in blockchain tech upgrades, funding announcements, and deals for the period of April 25th, May 1st, April 29th, Omnity, the first on-chain omni-chain interoperability protocol built by the Octopus Network team on Internet Computer, announced its integration of Rune's KC Rod Armor's UTXO-based Bitcoin Meta protocol that allows for the trading of fungible tokens on Bitcoin. According to the team, this integration aims to enable the trading of Rune tokens without gas or transaction fees. It also paves the way for greater Rune's utility, including use within DeFi, marketplace integration, and token swaps without having to rely on risky cross-chain bridges. Now, another development, Tether buys $200 million majority stake in brain-computer interface company BlackRock Neurotech. Ooh. April 29th, Tether, the issuer of stablecoin USDT, said Monday that it invested $200 million to acquire a majority stake in brain-computer interface company BlackRock Neurotech via its venture capital division Tether Evo. BlackRock Neurotech develops medical devices that are powered by brain signals and aims to help people impacted by paralysis and neurological disorders. Whoa, okay. Dolomite to launch lending protocol on OKX's new L2 X layer. April 29th, DeFi lending protocol Dolomite announced it will launch its lending protocol on OKX's new Ethereum Layer 2 network, X layer. According to the team, Dolomite seeks to replicate its success on Arbitrum, where it quickly became the fourth largest lending market and the lending market with the most supported assets. Dolomite's expansion to X layer will transform it into a multi-chain protocol and introduce X layer users to sophisticated tools for unlocking dormant capital, launching initially with support for OKB, WETH, USDT, USDC, and WBTC. As reported by CoinDesk earlier this month, X layer is built on Polygon's chain development kit, compatible with Ethereum's EVM runtime and making use of zero-knowledge technology. Natix crowdsourced camera network with Web3 incentives sources secures $9.6 million. Congratulations. April 28th, Natix driver-led DePIN powered by AI cameras has secured $9.6 million in funding in a new round spearheaded by Borderless Capital, co-led by Tioga Capital, with angel investors from BitGet, Figment, and Crypto Banter, according to the team. Natix, one of the largest crowdsourced camera networks with 92,000 registered drivers globally, sets to transform driver-led data collection and driver applications with Web3 incentives, said Ali Reza Gaz, Natix CEO and co-founder. Looking ahead, collaborating with leading high-performance networks like Solana and Peak is crucial for advancing our mission. Okay, moving on. Burnt Banksy's XION, or Zion, launches chain abstraction solution. April 28th, Burnt Banksy's Zion platform has officially launched its user-friendly chain abstraction solution. According to the team, with this launch, users of Zion are now able to extend the blockchain's ease of use with a frictionless sharing of apps, liquidity, and more across ecosystems, starting with Injective. For the first time, users are able to interact with Injective's Talis Marketplace from their Zion account simply by using an email. They can do so without any understanding of cross-bridging, browser plugins, seed phrases, gas fees, and more. Cool, that is. Hinkle multi-chain protocol for discrete hedge fund trades raises $1.4 million in strategic funding led by Salt. April 20th, Hinkle, a multi-chain protocol that allows hedge funds and institutional investors to discretely trade in the DeFi ecosystem, announced a $1.4 million strategic funding led by Salt. According to the team, as traditional finance institutions continue to enter the crypto market, they are seeking solutions that grant them the same level of discretion and privacy they are used to in traditional equities markets. Using Hinkle, institutions can execute their trades privately and mitigate the risk of front-running or trade copying that is becoming increasingly prevalent in the industry. Well, Magic's wallet as a service to integrate with Tezos, supported by Tezos Foundation grant. The Tezos Foundation and Magic have teamed up to enhance Tezos accessibility and usability. According to a message from the project, Magic's wallet as a service will seamlessly integrate with Tezos, streamlining user onboarding for dApps. This collaboration eliminates traditional password hassles, reducing entry barriers to Web3. Supported by a Tezos Foundation grant, this partnership aims to make dApps more user-friendly and encourage mainstream adoption. Tezos joins Magic's platform as a featured chain alongside Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, and Flow, offering developers tools to create secure and user-centric applications. Right, Wormhole's native token transfers make W token available on Solana, Ethereum, and EVM Layer 2s. April 28th, blockchain bridge wormhole native W tokens are now available on Solana, Ethereum, and all wormhole connected EVM chains through wormhole native token transfers, or abbreviated NTT. According to the team, with NTT, users can seamlessly transfer W across Solana, Ethereum mainnet, and EVM Layer 2s without the complications of liquidity fragmentation. Making W natively multi-chain completes the second phase of the W launch roadmap and will lead to an industry-first multi-chain governance system, multi-gov and W locking for self-delegation. These advancements lay the groundwork for future token functionality that is only possible with NTT and a native multi-chain token. Some additions here. It says that Protocol Village is a regular feature of The Protocol, our weekly newsletter exploring the tech behind crypto, one block at a time. And it's just an advertisement to sign up for their weekly newsletters. Bitcoin-linked stablecoin firm Open Delta raises $2.5 million. Now, to me, so this kind of these like raising capital and money flowing into space is indicative to me that we are heading into, if not in a bull cycle, because usually in these phases of markets, we do start to see a lot of investment happening in space. I mean, crypto is always being invested in by these larger players and venture capitalists because they're looking for opportunities. Like Solana was actually sold for like 3 cents a coin, and when it launched, it was like, I think, like 10 cents. Might have even been higher than that. There's a lot of opportunity for them, but they are taking risks. But it's also good for builders, and we need that. April 26th, moving on, Bitcoin-centric stablecoin company Open Delta raised $2.15 million in a pre-seed round led by Six Man Ventures. CEO Konstantin Wunschur told CoinDesk, "We want to use Bitcoin to create stable value in a fiat-denominated currency." Wunschur said in an interview, Open Delta will plant itself in the newest greenfield for decentralized finance atop the newest trend in Bitcoin, runes. SEDA Data and Computation Network launches mainnet Genesis. April 25th, SEDA, a data transmission and computation network that enables a permissionless environment for developers to deploy data feeds, sounds like Chainlink, announced the launch of its mainnet Genesis event. According to the team, by mitigating native deployments via a modular and chain-agnostic design, SEDA is building to offer complete developer flexibility with chain-agnostic integrations alongside completely programmable data feeds, enabling a permissionless optionality that promotes Web3's ethos for builders. Mainnet will see the deployment of SEDA's solvers, an overlay network offering one-click node spin-ups for community and bespoke mechanics for network OEV capture and value redeployment back into the hands of network participants. Sorchain Layer 1 DPIN for mobility allows vehicle data upload for things like smart insurance. Very interesting. April 25th, Sorchain, a layer DPIN built for mobility and data exchange, is bringing mobility data on-chain with their mainnet vehicle data network, according to the team. Users can now seamlessly upload their vehicle data in real time and convert their vehicles into connected, data-rich platforms from which they can extract real-world value. Vehicle data can serve as a foundation for applications like smart insurance, maintenance monitoring, and safety enhancements. Sorchain is also collaborating with Maruti and Suzuki to demonstrate the practical applications of their technology with real-world automotive scenarios. That's very cool. Movement Labs raises $38 million for rollup based on Facebook's Move language. April 25th, Movement Labs, a blockchain company that aims to bring Facebook's Move virtual machine to Ethereum, has secured $38 million in a Series A financing round led by Polychain Capital. The firm was founded by Rushi Manche, 21, and Cooper Scanlon, 24, Vanderbilt College dropouts who say they are on a mission to make blockchain security sexy with the launch of Movement L2, their new Layer 2 Ethereum blockchain based on the Move programming paradigm. And here's the image here. Cool stuff. EigenLayer powered Aligned Layer raises $20 million to make ZK proofs faster, cheaper on Ethereum. April 25th, Ethereum verification protocol Aligned Layer has raised a $20 million Series A to enable faster and cheaper zero-knowledge proofs on the world's second biggest blockchain. The fundraiser was led by HackVC and included contributions from DAO5, L2 Iterative, Nomad Capital, Fidelity Cap, or Finality Cap, whoa, Symbolic VC, and Theta Capital. Online Layer is an EigenLayer actively validated service. Gone. Avail data availability integrated by Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, Starkware, ZK Sync. April 25th, Avail, a blockchain project known for data availability. That's a cool name. Avail, data availability. Shared Thursday that 5 major Layer 2 networks in the Ethereum ecosystem will integrate with its Avail DA solution. Those chains include Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, Starkware, and ZK Sync. On NIM's Layer 0 Mixnet to pair with Alio zero-knowledge privacy-focused blockchain platform. NIM Technologies is partnering with Alio, a prominent privacy-focused blockchain platform. According to the team, the partnership harnesses the power of Alio's zero-knowledge Layer 1 blockchain with NIM's Layer 0 Mixnet protocol. Through integration with NIM's Mixnet and NIM's VPN decentralized privacy solutions, users will enjoy enhanced privacy and security across TCP, IP, and on-chain transactions, ensuring robust protection for their online interactions. Leo Wallet's intuitive user interface will seamlessly connect users with the NIM Mixnet, streamlining the integration of the Alio blockchain and NIM's Mixnet. And moving on, Zeta Chain launches 100 million Zeta or 120 million developer and dApp ecosystem program. April 25th, Zeta Chain, describing itself as the first omni-chain blockchain for chain abstraction, has launched a 100 million Zeta developer and dApp ecosystem growth program with 25 million Zeta specifically allocated for Bitcoin projects. According to the team, the program aims to support impactful projects focusing on Bitcoin-based DeFi, gaming, and SocialFi dApps, offering grants, incentives, and support programs to accelerate their development on the Zeta Chain blockchain. And here, this is just a schematic illustrating Zeta Chain with ecosystem, showing you just kind of like a preview or roadmap on how they see users coming into their ecosystem and where it's leading in. On BNB Chain integrates native liquid staking on BSC following Beacon Chain sunset. April 25th, BNB Chain is integrating native liquid staking on BSC following the Beacon Chain sunset. According to the team, the move will enable high APY native staking on BSC in addition to enhanced MEV rewards. Liquid staking on BNB Chain will allow participants to secure the network while maintaining liquidity of their assets. Users can engage in DeFi activities without sacrificing asset utility. The LSDeFi integration is scheduled to take place between April and early May. And so that just kind of wraps up everything that's been happening in the space. Some of the investments that are coming in, backing projects, and developments that are happening that you may see coming through the pipelines and taking front stage precedence in the markets moving forward. And so now to wrap it up, I do want to go on to the final bit of this, and we're going to talk about Binance's CZ and his sentencing. So here it says Binance's CZ will spend less than a year in prison, Polymarket traders bet. Also, the CFTC wants to bar Americans from betting on elections, even though it's already illegal in most U.S. states. And they have a picture of CZ. So this week in prediction markets, Polymarket bettors think Binance ex-CEO Changpeng Zhao will spend less time in prison than what the U.S. DOJ is asking for. The CFT weighs a ban on election derivatives. How low will the Federal Reserve go? So moving on further in the article, Binance's founder and former CEO Changpeng Zhao will be sentenced in a U.S. court in Seattle Tuesday. The Department of Justice said in a recent sentencing memo that he should spend 3 years in prison, citing the scale of his misconduct. Polymarket bettors think he'll be out much sooner. And as you can see here, they are degenerate gamblers here betting on the amount of time in the sentencing that we could see CZ receive during that court sentence on Tuesday. And it looks like 42% of the bettors believe that CZ will spend less than 6 months, and 18%, 6 to 11, 12 to 7%, 19%, 12 to 17 months, 19%, 18 to 23 months, 18%, but a very small amount believe that he will spend 2 years or longer. Yes, shares for the less than 6 months contract on the crypto-based prediction market platform were trading at about 42 cents Monday, indicating a 42% chance CZ will be out in less than 6 months. Each share pays out $1 if the prediction comes true and 0 if not. Trading levels show a 17% chance he'll get 6 to 11 months and a 19% chance that he'll get 12 to 17. All in all, the money says there's around a 96% chance that he'll be out in less than 2 years and a less than 2% chance he'll get sentenced for 30 to 35 months, which is around what the feds are asking. The traders might be counting on letters of support to help convince the presiding judge to trim the sentence significantly from what the DOJ asked for. Among those who signed such letters included in a submission to the courts were Max S. Baucus, former U.S. ambassador to China, professors from Columbia and CZ's alma mater, McGill University's Morgan Stanley managing director Sean Yang, and members of the ruling family in the United Arab Emirates. There is no excuse for my failure to establish the necessary compliance controls at Binance, CZ wrote in his own letter, while giving an assurance that this would be his only encounter with the criminal justice system. CFTC versus political bets. The U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission is looking to tighten the screws on prediction markets, Bloomberg reports. The regulator is considering a ban on derivatives for betting on U.S. elections and may also restrict other event contracts, including those on sports and global health crisis. The news service said, this comes as the CFTC faces a lawsuit from Kalshi, which doesn't offer direct election contract, but bets on approval rating numbers or other political events like appointments, and is challenging the agency decision not to approve its plans for election-related contracts. Even though the Republican primary season was one of the shortest in history, as most contestants dropped out in weeks, unable to trump Donald Trump, interest in the general election is at an all-time high, going by the nearly 117 million, up from 100 million a few weeks ago, bet on a Polymarket contract about its outcome. On paper, this 117 million would not have come from Americans, because part of a settlement with the CFTC requires Polymarket to block U.S.-based users. Now, keep in mind that at a state level, betting on elections is widely illegal. Nevada spells it out clearly. In Nevada revised statutes 293.830, which says any person who makes offers or accepts any bet or wager upon the result of any election or upon the success or failure of any person or candidate or upon the number of votes to be cast either in the aggregate or for any particular candidate or upon the vote to be cast by any person is guilty of a gross misdemeanor. New Jersey and Texas also have similar language on the books. In some other states, gambling on everything is illegal, unless specifically authorized otherwise, or if it takes place on Native American tribal territory. This specific authorization is how online sports betting became legal state by state. In other countries, election gambling is also illegal. In Taiwan, the presidential and vice presidential election and recall act specifically prohibits it, and a Polymarket contract about the nation's recent general election led to arrest in a complete national level block of its domain. PredictIt, a popular U.S. election betting site, is allowed to operate under a no-action letter from the CFTC, which limits the number of bettors on each question to 5,000 and the size of each bet to $850. The regulator yanked the letter last year and ordered PredictIt to shut down, but the platform sued and won the right to stay in business for now. Now, moving on, will the U.S. interest rates drop below 5.25%? That is a bet, I guess, that is happening. There's renewed talk of the Federal Reserve cutting rates as fears of stagflation grip the traditional finance and crypto markets. On Kalshi, which unlike Polymarket is licensed by the CFTC, does business only in the U.S. and settles bets in dollars. The highest single probability, 37%, is for 0 cuts this year, although there's a combined 60% odds for 1 to 3 cuts. When the cuts come, how low will they go? How low will the Fed rates get this year? Here's just a chart by Kalshi showing the bets that are coming in and where most of them expect the rates to end for the year. And 62% believe that the rates will be 5.25% or lower, and 36% believe lower than 5%, and 19% believe lower than 4.75%. Lower than 5.25%, the Hive Mind says, giving a 62% chance and a 36% chance of it being lower than 5%. The central bank's benchmark rates is currently at 5.5%. Of course, the last time the Fed seriously cut rates was during the COVID-19 pandemic, and before that in 2019 as a way to hedge against the possible consequences of then President Trump's trade wars with China. It was a very different time back then. As the Fed said, there wasn't enough inflation. And that just basically sums up that article. It's very interesting to see, congratulations to Changpeng Zhao and his team for having that sentence be lowered. Also, this betting thing that is going on, I am not very familiar with this. I would steer clear of this, as you can. Now, that wraps up everything that I have for you all today. I hope that you found some of this information useful, and please let me know if you would like me to cover any other topics in the future. Please remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification to help grow my channel. I'll see you all in the next one. Keep calm and crypto.